Hello, welcome Solex Nation. We are so happy to be with you tonight. We have our June leadership event that we want to make sure the leaders are aware of.
June 15th to 18th,
Yes.
Mark your calendars, platinums and above. We are going to see you here. We want you to be here with us. We're going to have some great training. We're going to have a lot of fun.
Yes.
We're mixing it up, both things in there, right? It's not just going to be dry, boring training from...
When are we dry and boring?
Lauren's not here, so I'm going to throw it out. Lauren's going to train us on something, No, it's not any of that. We're going to have a whole bunch of fun, and we have some dynamic training, and we're going to have some just great camaraderie together.
It's going to be wonderful. And I know there are a few of you out there that are shooting for platinum and almost there. Get there. You want to get to platinum before June so that you can come to this event. Next. Day of Discovery.
We're about a month, almost exactly a month away.
Yeah.
March 9th to 15th. Remember to get your tickets now if you don't have them, because that price increases on March 1st.
That's right.
Now, speaking of Day of Discovery, we're in the throes of this month already. If you're recruiting a PC or a QLA, they are going to get access to this Day of Discovery.
Yes.
And they get access to last Day of Discovery.
March.
That's right. On top of that, they get the 20% off coupon.
And tell them about how that works.
Okay,
20% off coupon.
so the coupon is valid from the 9th to the 15th for the entire time of the Day of Discovery. You can use the coupon as many times as you'd like. And there's just a couple of restrictions on devices, like things like that.
Yeah,
and subscription.
Yeah.
Where it doesn't apply, but everything else is on the table for access there.
That's right.
And so that coupon will be emailed to you, and you can just use it to your heart's content. It will be associated with your account. And so that's how we know who has bought a ticket or who has earned a ticket or who won a ticket.
So just to clarify, that contest that we're talking about for this month, any new QLA or PC will receive that Day of Discovery ticket for free, and it comes with a 20% off coupon. When you buy your Day of Discovery ticket, yours also comes with a 20% off coupon, and you can use it multiple times throughout that week.
For those that might be thinking, okay, well, how do I know? How am I going to know? How am I going to access Day of Discovery on March 9th? You will be emailed. We did this last year. For those that were here, we're going to wash, rinse, and repeat, right?
Right.
Do the same thing. And so what we're going to do is at the launch of the event, we will be emailing you access to the event. And it will also, we may also be posting that in their back office, I believe, based on the account. So look for that. Make sure that you have access to receive communication from corporate, so then it's easy for you to get that information and get that link and just enjoy the event to your heart's content.
Hey, speaking of promos, we announced a bunch of things back in January about, system and what we're doing over the next, January, February, and March.
Yep, 90-day run.
Our 90-day run. And so one of those things is earning the spa package when you earn the Punta Cana trip.
Yes. So if any time during January, February, or March, you have recruited, a new preferred customer or QLA to the count of 3. So if you got 3 preferred customers, they could be all preferred customers, they could be all QLAs,
you can get them all in March, you can get them all in February, you could stagger them between the 3 months.
Yep. As soon as you get 3, then you qualify for that triggering spa package with your earning of the Punta Cana trip. Now, mind you, if you get 3 people, that helps you towards the Punta Cana trip, right?
Yes.
There's another added layer, like the cherry on top here.
Yeah.
It's if you double that, if you get 6 during the period between January and March, and those 6 QLAs or PCs have an auto ship on their account and it's successful, right? Then you also get a $250 bonus, straight cash added to your check. How fun is that?
We have so many fun incentives.
Yeah, we love that. It was just part of the motivation to get out there and spread this good word of AO scan technology.
That's right. We have a fabulous call today. We have actually you and Loran sitting down together and answering a lot of questions that have come in from you on our Facebook group. Before we head into that though, let's bring Jake and Deb on and they're gonna do top enrollers and contest winners.
Yes.
Hi everybody, it's Deb and Jake again.
Woo.
We're happy to be here, we're happy to be back, and we're excited to tell you about the top enrollers this week and the week of January 30th through February 5th.
We had a lot of enrollments this
There
week.
were a lot of enrollments. When I pulled that report, I was wowed.
Whoever
Let's
was
just say
first
that.
place, which we'll announce in a second,
Yes.
got so many. I don't
Yes, they
think since
did.
I've been here, I've seen that many
Yeah,
in one
there
week.
has been a lot of enrollments. I think it was that Alpha 3 pass that kind of kicked that off.
Great. That's
And then the week of February, the month of February, they get the Day of Discovery ticket.
With that
so,
coupon, the 20%
yes,
off. That's
20% off. Who doesn't want that?
That's
That's sweet.
amazing. Great job.
I know. So we have a three-way tie for the second place top enrollers. And the first one is
Sheila Day.
good job, Sheila. You guys killed it. And then, of course, Rita Dickinson.
Awesome.
And then we have a new name we want to congratulate.
Marissa Corliss. Great
Yes.
job. Awesome.
And those were
Congratulations.
substantial enrollments. So good job, you guys. Keep up the great work. And our top enroller for, again, January 30th through February 5th is
Jessica Zavallos.
Jessica.
Great job,
Go,
Jess.
Go,
Woo.
Jessica. Yay. So another Solex coin is coming your way,
another.
Jessica.
All right, so we also had a contest.
Yes.
And I think last week's call was Becky Coots-Kimbley talking about food sensitivities in the
Yes.
vital scan. And
Yes.
oh gosh, I love any time we talk about food sensitivities because it's just so
A
interesting.
lot of good information.
And so much good information. And I think what we were giving away was, you want to grab it, yeah, X by Solex.
It's one of my favorite products. It truly is one of my
And
favorite products.
we have a video. I think Kai made a video when we launched the product. I think
Yeah.
about a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
And so we'll have that pop up here. And anyway, should we? I feel like we should have you mix up
Mix it up, huh?
the
All right.
the people this time because last time I did it, they flew out. Here, I'll hold it for you.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. All right, and we get 3 winners. You guys, really, honestly, X by Solex is my favorite, one of my favorite products. It's wonderful. Okay, so should we pull all 3 out?
Oh, I guess, sure.
Okay, I have 3.
Did you get 3? All right.
I believe I have 3, Jake. Let's give this away. All right. All right. Do you want to read the first one or do you
Sure,
want me
yeah.
to? Okay.
Okay, this is Cheryl Robinson. That was one of the best informative videos I've seen. I feel like I will be able to use this information better as I advise people on their scans as well as my own. The fact that the nightshades can apply to the vital scan was an eye-opener for me. I will now start using the food sensitivities in conjunction with the vitals. It's starting to make more sense. Thanks. Awesome,
I
Cheryl.
agree. That was a lot of good information. I learned a lot as well.
Yeah, it was, again, I just love when we talk about food sensitivities.
Yeah,
It's just great.
yeah.
And X is coming your way.
Yep.
Great
we'll
job.
We'll get that shipped out soon. Okay, the next one is O-Calamp. O-Calamp.
O-Cal-Amp?
O-Call-Amp. O-Call-Lamp. All right.
And do we know this person?
I
So they'll have to
I
call
don't
in
know this person.
to
Please
receive
let
their
us know
X.
who you are so we can send it to the correct address. Otherwise, we're guessing. It says, I learned that onions are a nightshade. That was one I learned as well. I have never heard this before. I hadn't heard that either. I knew tomatoes were, but I did not know about onions. All right, Jake, here's the last one.
Okay. All right, this is Salud y Vida con Maria de Los Angeles. Okay.
I'm going to look you up, see if you're in the system. If not, you got to let us know.
I feel like
who
I
you are.
remember this person
Okay.
before, but love helping others connect the dots on their food sensitivities. Thank you, Becky. Great tips. All right, X is coming to you. Great job. That's awesome.
Congratulations, you guys. You're going to love this product. If you have not already tried this, I highly recommend it. It is absolutely, literally one of my favorite products. And I use it pretty regularly, and I love it. The benefits of it are phenomenal. And it's super easy to use, non-invasive. It's wonderful. It truly is.
Awesome. And I'm going to start using it, I guess.
I
Because
know.
I have a packet of my own. So
Yes,
we'll
I
see.
told Jake,
Too bad I didn't
get
take
on
it
it.
like last week, so I could be like a little bit of a testimonial today. But,
yes.
well, sorry.
Yes, I'll be the testimonial. Jake will maybe talk about it next time.
Yeah. Well, all right. Should we move on to the rest of our call?
Yeah, it's good to see everyone. Have a good one.
Hello, everyone. I have the wonderful Loran Swensen with me today because we're going to address a lot more questions They had, we put out the feelers as to what questions they had, and they have a lot of them.
Wow.
And so we're going to jump into them, see how many we can get through in the next little bit, at least on this call.
Okay.
Okay.
Good. Sounds good.
Let's jump into probably one of the most hot topics regarding the scanner in and of itself, and that's inner voice.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's, this first question. Has anyone had an experience with physical detox systems with inner voice? And it goes on to explain some rationale behind this question. I've heard all kinds of things resulting from the use of it, but this is the first time that someone has reported flu-like symptoms. I'd like to know how common this is. Have you ever heard anything like that?
Okay, and just like when you think you've heard it all, you hear something new.
Yeah,
I've never heard this one before,
true.
but it makes sense. It does make sense. Your inner voice is tied to your emotions, and we know that our emotions are tied to our physical.
Yeah.
So it isn't a stretch to say, yeah, you've got some emotions brewing that maybe are causing that lower gut feel, or that
Right.
cold, fluid. Our emotions are so powerful and so key to how we live, how we feel, how we function, how we think. So I haven't heard that one specifically before.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard lots of others where people will cry, people will get really quiet, they'll get really happy,
Yeah.
but I've not heard the flu-type symptom before, a Hertz-timer reaction.
Yeah.
But I don't think that that's out of way.
So with that, like when you've experienced people crying or getting emotional with inner voice in and of itself, is that usually just part of that unfolding, that drawing out
Oh, yeah.
of emotions? And that's my own question. That's not her question.
But it ties to it, which
Yeah.
is good. We started the whole mobile scanner with inner voice.
Yeah.
The whole purpose was because it is such a powerful module. Our emotions are so important. In fact, I've said before, and I know you have as well, if you only have time to do one scan a day, make it inner voice.
Make it inner voice. Absolutely.
Make it inner voice. Get those. And just like we tell you when you're doing your scans, you've got to optimize. When you're doing inner voice, you've got to
balance.
listen to those tones.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and it really makes sense because if you, just take the scenario, if I was sitting in a depressed state for a long period of time, if I was frowning, if I was down, if my whole demeanor was depressed, and then all of a sudden there was a cause for me to be different, I'd have to unload all of that.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to get that out of me. And so it makes sense that there could be even feelings change, not just emotional feelings, but also
There can be a physical response,
physical
for sure.
responses to those. Okay, that was
question.
long enough
Good
for me to add 3 or 4 more questions to that question. Please explain why inner voice chooses a frequency that's already high to support a high frequency and why it would be beneficial. It would seem they're canceling each other out or entrenching those high frequencies. CC and F sharp in the image, so they send an image obviously with this.
Maybe we can have an image put up of a scan. When you're looking at those, and I'm pretty sure what they're referring to here is they're looking at the bars. You remember your graph shows 12 notes.
Yes.
And those bars are going up, and some are really low and some are really high. I think what they're referring to here is, okay, so the frequency that was high was given a balancing that was also high.
Uh-huh.
That's really a little bit confusing because the highness that you see on your chart, that's volume. That's the volume. It's not necessarily that it's high out of range or low out of range.
Yep.
It's the volume. Some of those frequencies when you're speaking, some of those notes, depending on your emotions, the volume of those is going to be low. Even though your voice here you feel like is pretty consistent.
Yeah.
Some of those frequencies, depending on your emotions, will have a higher volume or a lower volume. Has nothing to do with one canceling the other one out. That's not how inner voice works.
Yeah.
So your charts, when you look at that graph, what's high, this means those were a higher volume. It's just a volume indicator, not a higher or low out of range.
That helps, and that makes sense because just another part of inner voice in and of itself is you're not just looking at the bar graph. You're looking at the numbers across the top of the bar graph to look at what you're suppressing, what you're compensating for.
That's right. And the thing is, you're only seeing on that graph 12 notes.
Yes.
We're looking at almost 2,000.
Frequencies. Yes.
We can't put all 2,000 of them up in there and have it make sense. So we show you the primaries, the 12. So yeah, those high bars just means the volume of that when you were speaking was higher.
Okay. Okay, good. Here's a good question. This is a short one. When will the new inner voice tones be coming out?
Do you have your ticket for Day of Discovery in March? Is
Good,
that a good tease?
plug. I like the plug. Tickets are on sale.
Yeah.
Feel free to get your March Day of Discovery ticket for 2023. We're obviously going to go into that.
Big changes in the inner voice there.
Yeah. We're all looking forward to that. Okay, let's jump into some more. Outside of inner voice, is there a way to design a feature in the Solex AO Scan app to allow a person to schedule a group of SEFI lists to be played over a specific period of time or length of hours?
The answer to that is yes. And the second answer to that is Day of Discovery.
Okay.
There's a lot that will happen this year. A lot will start at Day of Discovery. Mm-hmm. But there will be more things added to Inner Voice over the ensuing months. But a big chunk will happen at Day of Discovery. Yeah. But that is one of the things we're working on. Playlists will be expanded. And to be able to hit multiple people at the same time, which is something you can't do right now.
Yeah,
so
that's
some big features coming. You want to definitely tune into Day of Discovery.
So the answer to that question, is there a way? Yes, there's a way, and we're working on that way right now. So wonderful. Should we look for patterns when doing scans for food sensitivities? I have things show up a lot more than others. They don't show up all the time, but a decent amount of the time they show up.
Okay, so we've answered this question in the past. I'll just rephrase it again. Patterns is the key. Remember, this is education, not diagnostic.
Yeah.
You're looking for a pattern of things to happen. We talked about it before when you're eating something, and I love this. It was a QLA that said, hey, I love this feature because I can sit down when I go to the restaurant and do a quick food sensitivity scan
before you eat.
30 seconds, 40 seconds, and they know what not to order.
Yes, that's right. That's
and
good.
So, same thing with this here is look for those patterns. And if your body's telling you something, listen and obey.
Yeah.
Follow that information, because if it's coming up and it's saying, I shouldn't have a potato, or a potato came up as a high sensitivity.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you're allergic to potatoes. It just means today's probably, or right now is not the best time for your body to have to break down those starches.
Because we're not looking at that frequency. We're looking at your body's frequency in connection with that frequency.
What does that frequency do to this?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. And I love that you brought up, it's not, we deal with this often. Mm-hmm. It's not an allergy. It's not indicative of an allergy.
Not at all.
All it is a frequency. And so you're paying attention to that frequency.
Yeah. Don't confuse the food sensitivities and the allergy test. That is not what this was designed for. It was designed to help you better understand the things that you should and should not eat at a certain given time. That's all.
Okay, so I'm going to get Loran right here. When it says squash, does it mean winter squash, summer squash, or all squash?
Okay, so that's good, and it's all squash. Okay. Now there will come a time maybe that we'll break that down into the individual squashes, and you'll see if you go to nuts, it breaks down a whole bunch of nuts, and grains, a whole bunch of grains. Whereas a year ago, we didn't have that. We had like 4 or 5 grains and a few vegetables. So as we develop those frequencies and we're comfortable with those frequencies, they'll be added. So your scanner's always, like we've said before, it's a living, breathing software. It is going to continue to grow as we can develop it.
Wonderful. Okay. What is the best way to aggregate scans to decide which areas need the most attention?
Okay, so that question, we're working on ways to where you can archive on your device files.
Okay.
Right now, the only way you can do that is to email those files and to review those files, in your email.
We know of some, though, QLAs that actually take the file, they put it into an Excel spreadsheet, and they look at them over long periods of time because they're looking to connect the dots, right? Exactly.
And that is coming. That will be built in, according to our engineers. That is something that we can do. Maybe this year that will be implemented. Or implemented. But to where we can do that without having to store that data in the cloud.
Right.
Because we won't ever do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a decent lift to put that sort of long-term range data set together to find commonalities. But I mean, at least the approach is correct, right? What you're looking for is what Deb Bruce always says, and what's in the different phases is you're looking to see how it's not just this area of the body that's out of range.
Exactly.
You want to go up the chain, down the chain, sideways on the chain as far as to figure out what else is influencing or could be influencing.
That's
that,
right.
Right?
Right.
All right, this is a really important question, I think, because it comes with a laughing, crying face. Who is your favorite QLA?
Well, if we told you, we'd have to get rid of you, and I have to get a new one, so I can't do that.
It is. It's that rule. That's that CIA rule. You have to
we
kill
can't,
them if you
we
told
can't
them.
do
That's
that.
spy
So
rules.
we love you all.
We don't have favorites. Yes, we do, but we don't.
Yeah, so
I'm everyone's favorite. That's all that matters.
that's all that matters to Kai.
That's right. It's just all my little world.
That's right.
Okay, serious question that goes with that. And they do say that they're kidding, by the way, this cheeky person, whoever it is. How do you explain the, quote, science behind the technology?
How much time do we have?
Oh, that's a, well, how do you explain
Okay.
quantum physics in the next 30 seconds?
Okay, so the science behind the scanner is really simple, but boy, we could spend a lot of time discussing it. We are energy beings, and everything in this planet is energy. The rock, the asphalt, it all has a vibration.
This couch,
everything.
Everything is.
So all we're doing is measuring the frequency of, in this case, our bodies, or something specific in our body, or a food that we're going to put into our body, and comparing that as with those frequencies come together, is it beneficial, is it not beneficial? The science to this goes all the way back in modern days to Tesla and Einstein, and they worked with these things. In fact, I can't remember which one it was, said that the future of medicine is frequency. Unfortunately, the pharmaceutical industry never got the memo, so we went the other direction. But everything is frequency. The Russians were the first ones that I'm aware of to actually put it in and implement it into something that could be quantified, and that was with their space station, their International Space Station in the late 80s, early 90s, where they were able to kind of monitor the health condition of their cosmonauts up to the space station. Okay, that's the first time I ever saw this type of thing being put into something that was quantifiable. Now, we've heard of muscle testing, and we've heard of pendulums, and we've heard of all sorts of different energy types of therapies. This one here takes all the bias out. It takes out all that influence, and it's just this frequency and this frequency. If I put them together, what happens? That's all it is.
Yeah.
And that may not be the answer that you're looking for, but that's the best way we can explain it in a real simple.
Speaking of science, I remember as probably 6th, 7th, 8th grade, something like that. I remember being in a science class where the teacher was patting the table and was trying to teach how this is moving. This is not a table in and of itself. We call it a table, but it's made up of molecules attached together that are moving at such a rate that they create this sort of stability. Mm-hmm. I could not grasp what he was talking about. I'm like, no, that's a table and it's hard and it's just a table is all it is. It's not moving. I see it. It's sitting still. But the reality is when you could take a super high powerful microscope, put it on that table, and you'd be able to see the movement.
That's right.
And that in and of itself becomes the essence of everything is energy. Everything is moving all the time.
Always.
Constantly. In and out of form. In and out of its current form.
That's right.
No, I love that. Well, I'm with you.
Good.
Yeah.
So two of us are.
We got two. No, it's fascinating science, but those of us that don't live in the realm of the quantum physics, we go through our own experiences to validate that everything is energy. Right.
Well,
and everything has influence.
Let's try and tie it back to the pharmaceutical. We'll take a pill.
Yeah.
We'll take a synthetic pill. We'll put it in, and our headache will go away, or our indigestion will settle down, or our blood pressure will settle. Right? Can you explain how that's happening? I can, because it's a chemistry.
Yes.
And chemistry goes in. It goes in and hits the liver, the pancreas.
It does.
And it creates a frequency that helps soothe the frequency that's out of range.
Yes.
Okay, so we're bypassing the chemistry. by doing this. Now, that doesn't mean you throw away your medicine, just do frequencies. And there are times when those medicines are absolutely critical to our well-being.
Yeah.
But that's all we're doing without the chemistry is measuring frequencies and putting the right frequencies in.
And it's fascinating because, like, as I've done my own research, as we come up with Think and Pro and Prime and things like that have influence on the different systems, like for the brain, for example. Yes, it is a supplement that has ingredients that can pass the blood-brain barrier and then have influence upon the brain's chemistry. But what is the chemistry that's actually taking place between the cells in the brain? It is a synaptic change. The synaptic change actually is carried by what? Energy. That's right. Energy is what is the connection, the signaling. When we talk about signaling through the body, it ultimately, in the very end, is passed by way of energy from one cell to another.
That's right. And when there's a blockage there, it doesn't go.
Yeah.
So, no, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Great question, though.
Yeah, great question. This is a great one. What are your top 5 don'ts for using the scanner?
Okay, number 1, don't diagnose.
Yeah, that's critical.
Don't try to read things into your scanner that aren't there. Look at it, look at your patterns, learn from that, but don't try. If it comes up and says, oh, there's a cancer or in your database, so there's a cancer or there's a disease, it doesn't necessarily mean you have those things going on. Those are causes that could happen if changes aren't made. You know, cancer, before it manifests into the ugly disease that we're familiar with, started years ago.
Yeah.
You know, and how do we keep those things in check? And that is by paying attention to what we eat, drinking, our sleeping, our mental attitude. So don't diagnose with it and don't read into something that's not there.
Yeah, the scanner isn't treating, curing, fixing. No. And when we try to explain, we repeatedly say that we're talking about frequencies here. But I would caution us to sometimes say we're not talking about just frequencies. Because frequencies actually are super powerful, right? You can start a life, you can take away a life with frequency. Mm-hmm. You know, it's super powerful. So the just in that is not to discount, but what it is understanding what it means, right? Don't read into the scanner. It doesn't mean you have this or you're here, but what it is, it's representative of a frequency within the body, right?
That's right.
Okay.
So that's 2 of the don'ts.
That's 2.
2 of the don'ts. Don't forget to scan.
Well, good one. I love that one.
That's really important. And I'm guilty of that from time to time. You get so busy and you forget, and you can't not forget. So that's 3. 4, what would be the 4th one? All right. Don't scan too often.
Oh yeah, it's not a scan now and scan in 20 minutes and scan in another 20 minutes. I mean, the one scan we've said you could and should if you need inner voice multiple times throughout the day. You don't need it every second of the day.
But you don't need that on vitals. You don't need that on comprehensive. Now, other parts of the scanner you can use all the time. Parts in the SEFI.
Yeah.
You know, your playlists and your homeopathic and your homeoenergetics.
The imprinting efforts.
All that all the time. But we can do too much, and it confuses the body because every time you do a scan, you're interjecting to the body a series or a matrix of frequencies. Now, for a period of time, those frequencies are going to resonate in here until they either see what they were supposed to. For example, if I was to have you put your hand in a bucket of water and spin it all around, and you take your hand out, the water still spins for a while. Okay.
Yes.
And so when we do a scan and we do it too soon, it's now going to make an assessment based on what you had the frequencies before and the interjection of those other frequencies. And so you're going to get something that doesn't line up.
Is it I mean, as far as the philosophy of scanning and the regular, even SEFIs, is we don't say to just scan either with your life, with your well-being. The idea of, and I think of body systems, and when we talk about recommendations or suggestions after a scan is done, is if I had challenges sleeping and I even ran a SEFI for sleeping, it wouldn't do me any good that if at 11 or 11:30 at night to go get a high caffeinated beverage in conjunction with running my SEFI for sleep.
Nope.
Right? We're supposed to add to the frequency the mechanisms of our day-to-day that help support that frequency as well, right?
Right. You have to walk the walk.
Yeah.
If you want to go to sleep, like you said, you're not going to take something that's going to wake you up. So we follow through with what we want to achieve. What is that intention of what we're doing that scan or that playlist for?
Right.
Follow through with what that end goal is. I want to sleep.
Yeah.
I want to quiet my mind. I want to go to sleep.
We've given also just another parallel to that is you can't scan the nutrients of an apple into your supplement library and receive the nutrients. But what you can do is make the body's frequency state ready for that, right? And we've talked about that with Prime, right? Run Cellular Restore and take your Prime in conjunction with that. Then you're matching the chemistry with the frequency, right?
Same thing. We've said it in the past too with imprints of energy and sleep. You would never put those two together.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So
You're going to confuse
makes
the body
sense.
state. Right.
So we've got 4 don'ts.
Yeah, 4.
We have one fifth
more.
one.
Okay. Yeah, they asked
So
for
what's
5.
our 5th don't? What's our 5th don't? Don't forget to share.
Oh, good.
Don't forget to share this wonderful tool that you have with your family and your friends, because it's change.
And that's so important because it's not just share just to just to boost. It's you can do as many scans with as many people as you'd like in your scanner. There's no limitation. It's unlimited. Every month, that subscription is unlimited.
Use it as often
Do
as
as
you
much
can
as you can. Yeah.
without overdoing it to yourself on certain things.
But take care of your kids, take care of your pets, take care of your mom and dad, and as many people as you can.
That's right.
I love that. Well, that's enough.
Okay.
That's enough for today. We'll continue with more questions as we get along.
Thanks, everybody.
All right, Loran, this is a long call with you and me in this.
A long time.
Yeah, we
long-winded.
talked. I'm long-winded, and you have great answers. So let's get on to what our giveaway is going to be for this week. We talked about the scanner. I think if they write down a comment on this call, what is the golden feature in the scanner for you?
Yeah, okay, that's good.
And I chose gold for a reason.
Because we want to give away 3 bottles of gold.
Yes.
Now, gold is pretty important.
Yes.
Gold is an amazing thing, and a lot of the people in the Solex community know about fulvic acid and humic acid.
Yeah.
Right?
But if you've never heard of it, we have a fulvic acid product, which is called gold.
Yes. And what's really important, what really sets gold apart from a lot of the others on the market, is that it has the right ratio of those 2 minerals.
Yes.
80 to 90% fulvic and 10 to 20% humic. And that's important. A lot of the stuff that's on the market, Kai, is the reverse
high
of that.
humic. Yes.
The reverse.
High humic.
And
And
that's
humic
not
has
what-
its place.
It does.
It does. But you don't want too much of it.
Nope.
And the key differentiator is a high humic content in a fulvic acid product is usually very dark. It usually almost has a coal-like look to it.
It does. It looks black.
Yeah, it looks black. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so ours has an amber color to it, which is representative of fulvic.
And that's why we call it gold.
Yep.
So-
Fulvic acid actually, compared the two, has a much smaller molecular level, and that
better
actually
absorbed.
Yeah, it's so highly absorbed, which means the body makes maximum use of it. Anyways, we love Ionix Gold by Solex. It's a wonderful product. So comment on this call. What is golden in the scanner for you? And next week we're going to draw 3 people's names and give you a bottle of gold.
See you next week.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Sweet. I think that was good.
Oh, no bloopers.
No bloopers? Shoot.